Hello Kitty Queens and Kitty Beauty Teas. As y'all can see, I'm bringing y'all another cut crease client tutorial. This one is going to be a matte cut crease and a glitter liner. So I'm going to start off by cleaning her face. Then I'm going to go in and moisturize using my Pond's moisturizer. I'm just taking it on this fluffy angled brush and just, applying it all over her face. Now I'm going to go in and fill in her eyebrows. As you can see, her eyebrows already have that natural arch, so I didn't have to go in and shape them. But I'm just outlining them first using my black Nicka K eyebrow pencil. And then I'm going to fill them in, starting at the tail and working my way to the front. Once the eyebrow is properly filled in, I'm going to go in with the spoolie side and just brush them out so it can be more natural and mimic hair. Then I'm just going to repeat this whole process on the other eyebrow. To clean up around the brows, I'm going to be taking my e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer and my Makeup Revolution Concealer. And first, I'm starting off with the lighter one, which was the e.l.f. Concealer. And I'm just going to clean up underneath her eyebrows, just so her arch can stand out a little bit more. Then when I have it to my liking, I'm going to drag that concealer down and proceed to clean up the top of her eyebrows using the darker concealer. Now that I got this eyebrow nice and bright, I'm going to take my buffing brush and just buff out that excess concealer around the brows. Do y'all see the brow? Like, do y'all see the brow? Come on through, baby. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other one because I feel like y'all didn't see it. So I'm gonna let y'all see it again because some of y'all didn't see it. So yeah. I apologize for sticking my biscuit head in the camera. I hurried up and realized that I was in y'all way, so I went ahead and fixed it. As you can see, I got these brows looking how they looking. Them brows is browing. So anyway, I'm taking this P.louise base in the shade Rumor number 1, and I'm gonna put it all over her lids. First, I'm gonna apply it with this flat synthetic brush, and I'm basically taking this all over the lid, y'all. Like, it's not even a certain size amount that I'm taking. I'm just making sure I got it all over her lid. Then I'm gonna take that same buffing brush that I used to blend out her eyebrows and use it to blend out this base. For my palette, I'm going to be using this knockoff James Charles palette that I got from Amazon, and I'm taking that brownish orange shade and I'm just using it as a transition. As you can see, I'm applying it with a fluffy brush, and I tell y'all this in every video, once you get to the beginning of the eyebrow, make sure you're being very light-handed. So yeah, I'm just going to sweep this across her eye. Next, I'm going to be mixing these two dark brown shades and just sweeping them right on top of that first shade that we use. I'm making sure I'm using the same blending brush just because I wanted this blend to be very soft. Even though it's a cut crease, I wanted all my browns to be pretty soft and warm tone just because I want the liner to take all the attention. I didn't want to have a loud cut crease and then a bold liner too. I just did not want that. So yeah, I'm just sweeping on this darker brown. To cut the crease, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and it's most likely in the shade Warm Sand, and I'm just taking it on this synthetic brush and I'm just going to sketch it out, y'all. This is how I do all of my cut creases. She really has a good eye shape because she has enough eye space so I can make the cut crease as high as I want it, and I made it pretty high just because the orange liner that I'm doing is going to be pretty thick and I wanted my cut crease to be visible. So if you're going to mimic this look, make sure you cut your crease as high as you can. Once my cut creases are nice and even, I'm going to take that buffing brush and buff out the concealer before I start laying down the lid shades. I'm going to take that last brown shade that we use and blend out the edge of the cut crease. Now I'm taking this brown mustard yellow type of shade out of the palette. Sorry I forgot to show it on camera, but I'm just gonna sweep it right in front of the last shade that we use. For the last shade on the cut crease, I'm going to be filling it in with a matte white and just pressing it into the last shade that we use as well, just so the edges will mesh together. Do y'all see this cut crease? Like, yes ma'am, she's giving soft, she's giving autumn, she's giving brown, she's giving, like, the cut crease is cutting, okay? For the liner, I'm going to take my Basic Brights P.louise base, and this is orange, the color orange. And y'all, I forgot my angle brushes at home, so I had to take this disposable lip wand and use it to draw on the liner, which it actually worked pretty well. And I did not have to clean off any eyeshadow or anything before I started doing the line, because the P.louise Basic Brights bases, they're pretty much full coverage. So yeah, I'm alternating between the disposable lip wand and this flat synthetic brush, and I'm gonna just get my line as thick, crisp, and sharp as I can. I did the other wing liner off camera just to save me a little time. Now I'm going to take this orange eyeshadow and pat it on top of the P.louise base. The base is more like a cream, so you will have to set it with an eyeshadow just so it doesn't move as you start applying the glitter. I'm going to take this clear Eye Envy Lash glue and use it as the adhesive for my glitter. Now I'm just going to take this orange chunky glitter and stamp it all across the liner. I will tell y'all where I got this glitter from, but I do not support the company whatsoever. So if you want to find a similar glitter to this, I'm sure it's plenty of glitter lines on Instagram. I'll make sure to try to have some listed in the description box down below. So I have my glitter all applied. Time to go in with lashes. And my friend likes 25mm lashes, so we're going in with some big blinks today. I got these lashes off of AliExpress, and I did cut them before I put them on her eye. But I'm just going to stamp them right on top of the liner. Once you do something with glitter, anything with glitter, it could be a glitter cut crease or a glitter liner, you need to make sure you get as close to the lash line as possible. It may be hard, but make sure you get as close as possible, because once that lash is there, it's there. It's no moving, it's no blending, it's no stamping, it's just there, okay? Before we get into foundation, I'm going to prime her skin using the calamine lotion. And as y'all can see, she has flawless skin. So I'm not taking this to hide any type of blemishes, because, girl, she ain't got no blemishes. But I'm just using it to mattify her skin. Now for foundation, I'm going in with these two Maybelline Fit Me foundations. As y'all can see, I put the shade names in there, so they probably won't be in the description box. But I'm taking the darker shade first and just working it around the perimeter of her face. Now I'm going in with that lighter foundation shade and just working it in the inner portions of her face. Basically, everywhere that you would normally highlight, that's where you will put the second foundation. To press the foundation in, I'm going to be using this Real Techniques flat top foundation brush. And I know it probably look like I'm being rough, y'all, but I'm really light-handed, so don't believe the lies. Don't believe the lies that my camera loves to tell. I'm taking my Real Techniques sponge and using it to press out whatever remaining foundation she has on her face. To highlight her face, I'm going to be using my LA Colors concealer and my e.l.f. hydrating concealer. The lighter shade is the LA Colors concealer, and now you see me taking the e.l.f. concealer and just putting it around the edge of the lighter shade. Then I'm going to take my flat synthetic brush and make sure I clean up the edges of her eyeshadow. Now I'm going in with this Juvias foundation stick in the shade Katsina, and I wanted this to add a little bit more color back to her face. I'm not necessarily using it for dimension because it's too light, but to add dimension, I'm going to be taking a different foundation stick from Juvias. This one is in the shade Congo, and I'm just going to be mixing the two shades. So I'm pressing this one on top of the first one that we used. To blend out the contour slash bronzer, I'm going to be using my Real Techniques sponge, and I'm taking the same side of the sponge that I used to blend out the foundation, just so everything could appear as seamless as possible. Now I'm going to take my Real Technique sponge and flip it to a clean side and use it to blend out the highlight that has been sitting on her face. You want to let the concealer sit just so when you blend out it could be as full coverage as possible. To set the highlight, I'm going to be taking these two Fit Me pressed powders. One is in the shade Mocha, and I believe the other one is in Truffle. And I'm just going to press them into her skin using my sponge. If y'all don't have a sponge, y'all need to go get one, because baby, I abuse all of my sponges. To set the contour, I'm going to be using my Black Radiance contour palette in the shade Dark Deep. This is the deepest palette that they have for contour, and I'm just going to mix the two shades together and lightly press them into her skin using this fluffy ankle brush. Make sure you be as light-handed as possible if you're using this palette, just because they are very pigmented and it is so easy to mess up your work. So every time I'm using these, I like to be as light-handed as possible. I'm going to take this Black Radiance pressed powder, and it's in the shade Ebony, and I'm basically using it to set all the remaining areas of her face, and I'm also going to apply it on top of her contour and a little bit around the edge of her highlight, just to make sure everything is well blended. I'm going to be taking that same powder and using it to sculpt out her nose. As y'all can see, I'm using this fluffy brush to do so, because like I said earlier, I want everything to be soft just so it could focus more on the liner. So yeah, I like to take this powder all the way up into her eyebrow to make the nose appear more narrow, and then I like to dust some on the bottom just to make the nose appear shorter. So yeah. To clean up my contour, I'm going to be using my Fenty Beauty loose face powder in the shade Hazelnut. And I like this powder for any deep skin tones. If you're looking for a powder, make sure you go get this one in the shade Hazelnut. And as you can see, I'm taking it on the edge of my Real Technique sponge and using it to clean up her contour. I'm also going to set this under her eyes just to further mattify the skin. Basically, setting this powder anywhere that I see fit. So I'm going in with my black gel liner on this Q-tip, and I'm using it to line her waterline. I didn't want to apply any shadows or anything to the bottom of her eye. If you want to, you can, but y'all know I love the way a black liner just looks. Like, that alone is enough for me. For blush, I'm taking my Juvias Saharan blush palette, and I'm mixing that orange shade and that burgundy shade together, and I'm just going to press it into her skin. I'm going to take that fluffy angle brush and use it to dust away any of the powder that is setting on her face. Once I have all of the powder dusted away, I'm going to take my Real Technique sponge and just further press it into the skin just so I don't have that powder cast. I'm just going to go in with my setting spray and just spray it all over her face. And before it's all the way dry, I'm going to take my foundation brush and just press it into the skin. You know, we want her to look dewy. We want her to look natural. Yes, ma'am. Once I have it all the way pressed in, I'm going to be taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit, and I'm using it to highlight her face. I'm taking the darkest and the lightest shade from the palette and just mixing them together. For all of you who don't know, I like to have my clients smile while I highlight their cheeks, just so I can make sure I highlight the apples of their cheeks. For the lips, I'm going to be taking my LA Colors Dark Brown Eyebrow Pencil and this lip gloss from Absolute New York. First, I'm going to line her lips using that dark brown eyebrow pencil. And y'all know we're doing an ombre lip, so I'm going to outline her lips first, and then I'm going to go in and fill in the corners. Now I'm going to take that lip gloss and just work it into the center of her lips. Now I'm just doing a little finishing touches. I'm going to reline her lips with the liner. And for some reason, I wasn't really satisfied with the gloss. Like, the gloss just wasn't glossing enough. So I took this clear lip gloss and added it on top. And once I had that finished, that was basically the end of the look. So I'm going to just get into the grand reveal, and I'm going to let y'all watch.
You ready to see? Yes. Oh, period. Period.
Yeah, every time I do her makeup, she always got the same reaction. Like, she always say period. I love her, y'all. Like, she always come through for me. She's like the best face model. As y'all can see, I went off camera and curled her hair for her. So this is the finished look. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, rate, and subscribe. And stay tuned for my next one. Bye-bye.